It was the view, very firm view of archaeologists, that there had been no megalithic architecture. When I say megalithic, I mean literally big stones, stone circles, huge constructions, nothing like that before 6,000 years ago.
Massive stone blocks weighing over 1,000 tons sit perfectly stacked in Lebanon, cut with laser-like precision that modern machines can barely achieve. These ancient giants at Baalbek mock everything we think we know about primitive civilizations. Graham Hancock, the controversial author and journalist, reveals shocking evidence that Stone Age humans possessed technology we're only beginning to understand. But here's the terrifying part. This advanced civilization vanished without explanation. Who built these impossible monuments? And why is the truth being kept away from us? Join us as Graham Hancock reveals who built the gigantic stones in Baalbek. Impossible precision of ancient engineers.
Now, Egyptologists will tell you that, oh, they could move heavy blocks because they put them on wet sand and they push them along on wet sand. Maybe if you're just at ground level, that will do, but when you're 350 feet above the ground, as you are in the King's Chamber, that won't do at all.
Thousands of years ago, across the wind-swept landscapes of Europe, prehistoric people dragged massive stones for miles. They arranged them in perfect circles. They built rows that stretched across entire valleys. For centuries, these monuments puzzled researchers. Then came Alexander Thom. Thom was a Scottish engineer and Oxford professor with an unusual obsession. While other academics spent weekends at home, Thom loaded his car with surveying equipment and drove to remote stone circles that had stood silent for millennia. He wasn't hunting for treasure or ancient artifacts. He was hunting for something far more elusive: patterns hidden in plain sight. Over 30 years of meticulous fieldwork, Thom surveyed more than 600 megalithic sites across Britain and France. He measured every stone, calculated every angle, and recorded every dimension with scientific precision. What he found defied everything archaeologists believed about Stone Age people. These ancient builders were using a standardized unit of measurement. Thom called it the megalithic yard, exactly 2.72 feet, or 0.829 meters. Not 0.828, not 0.83. Exactly 0.829 meters. The same measurement appeared everywhere, at sites separated by hundreds of miles and built across thousands of years. Stone Age people had no writing system. They possessed no metal tools. They knew no advanced mathematics. Yet somehow, they achieved levels of precision that modern engineers struggle to match. The Ring of Brodgar in Scotland demonstrates this impossible accuracy. Its 27 standing stones form a perfect circle with a diameter of 340 feet. The stone placement is accurate to within half an inch. Modern surveyors, each stone's width equals precisely 2.5 megalithic yards. These aren't rough estimates or close approximations. They're exact measurements, repeated with mathematical consistency across dozens of sites. The geometric sophistication went far beyond simple circles. Thom discovered evidence of Pythagorean triangles embedded in stone layouts thousands of years before Pythagoras was born. The builders understood complex geometric relationships and encoded them into the landscape using the megalithic yard as their standard unit. But precision was only part of the mystery. These weren't just monuments. They were machines. Giant stone instruments designed to track celestial movements with breathtaking accuracy. Sites like Callanish tracked the equinoxes. Others predicted lunar eclipses. Some monitored the moon's 19-year cycle, a complex astronomical phenomenon that requires generations of careful observation. How did Stone Age farmers know what the equator was? How did they calculate eclipse cycles that baffled later civilizations? The knowledge required seemed far beyond their supposed capabilities. The megalithic yard wasn't arbitrary. It wasn't just a convenient length like a human pace or arm span. Tom believed it derived from cosmic principles themselves. Some researchers suggest it was part of a measurement system based on Earth's actual circumference. If true, these ancient builders somehow calculated a unit based on the planet's exact size thousands of years before anyone had accurate ways to measure such distances. The implications were staggering. Either Stone Age people possessed scientific knowledge that disappeared without a trace, or they inherited this wisdom from an even older source. The precision was real. The measurements were consistent. But Tom's discovery of precision was just the beginning of an even stranger mystery. What if these ancient builders were encoding secrets that could only be seen from the sky? Cosmic blueprint, hidden in stone. The megalithic yard revealed something extraordinary about individual stone circles. But when researchers began plotting these ancient sites on maps, they uncovered patterns that defied explanation. The monuments weren't randomly scattered across the landscape. They formed geometric relationships spanning hundreds of miles. Stonehenge, Avebury, and Glastonbury Tor create a perfect isosceles triangle. The distance between the long sides measures exactly 19,000 megalithic yards. The angles between them are 23.5 degrees. That's the exact angle of Earth's axial tilt. The builders somehow knew this cosmic measurement and embedded it into the landscape itself. 3 more sites in Scotland reveal another impossible pattern. The Ring of Brodgar, Callanish, and Maeshowe form a triangle whose sides can be measured in whole megalithic yards. No fractions, no approximations, perfect whole numbers. The angle within this triangle is 27.5 degrees, matching the Moon's lunar standstill angle. How did Stone Age people know the Moon's maximum position? This astronomical cycle takes 18.6 years to complete. Tracking it requires decades of careful observation and mathematical calculation. Yet these builders encoded this knowledge into stone monuments separated by hundreds of miles. The megalithic yard might not have measured distance at all. It might have measured wavelengths, energy frequencies, patterns in the Earth's electromagnetic field. The builders could have been creating a vast instrument tuned to the planet's natural resonance. This wasn't primitive superstition. It was sophisticated science. Mathematical precision applied to forces modern physics barely understands. Knowledge that appeared suddenly in the archaeological record then vanished just as mysteriously. The cosmic patterns were undeniable, but they raised an even more disturbing question. How did the same advanced knowledge appear across continents that had never met? Evidence of a lost global civilization. Alexander Thom's megalithic yard wasn't confined to Britain and France. As researchers dug deeper, they found traces of the same mathematical principles scattered across the ancient world. The evidence pointed to something extraordinary, a global system of knowledge that predated all known civilizations. Ancient Egypt used a measurement called the remen, which equaled 14.6 inches. When Egyptian builders created a triangle 1 inch wide and 2 remen long, the diagonal measured exactly 32.6 inches. That's precisely 1 megalithic yard. The same Pythagorean relationship Thom found in British stone circles appeared in the land of the pharaohs, calculated thousands of years before Pythagoras was born. The Sumerians of Mesopotamia used a unit called the cubit. Build a triangle 1 cubit wide and half a cubit long, and the diagonal equals 1 megalithic yard. Again, the same mathematical relationship, the same precise measurement. The same advanced geometric knowledge appears in cultures separated by thousands of miles and hundreds of years. But the similarities went far beyond measurements. The Great Pyramid of Giza encodes the same mathematical constants found in British stone circles. Its dimensions contain pi, phi, and other fundamental numbers that define the universe itself. The builders understood relationships between Earth's size, orbital mechanics, and cosmic cycles that weren't officially discovered until the modern era. Halfway around the world, the ancient cities of South America reveal identical knowledge. Sacsayhuaman in Peru contains stone blocks weighing over 200 tons, fitted together with precision that defies explanation. No mortar holds them together. The joints are so tight that a knife blade cannot slide between them. The same impossible engineering standards are found at megalithic sites in Europe. Modern genetic studies reveal another mystery. Human civilization showed remarkable advancement around 10,000 years ago. Agriculture, mathematics, astronomy, and monumental architecture all emerged within a relatively short time frame. Anthropologists call it the Neolithic Revolution, but they can't explain why it happened so quickly and simultaneously across multiple continents. The evidence suggested that ancient humans inherited knowledge from somewhere else, and so far, no one knows who these original teachers were. The evidence of a lost civilization was compelling, but researchers discovered something even stranger. What if these ancient builders were tapping into forces flowing through the Earth itself? Earth's hidden energy grid and ancient technology. In 1921, amateur archaeologist Alfred Watkins made a startling observation while studying ancient British sites. The monuments formed straight lines across the landscape. He called these alignments ley lines, thinking they were old trade routes connecting sacred places. But decades of research revealed something far more mysterious. These lines didn't just connect ancient sites. They followed Earth's magnetic field patterns. They tracked underground water sources. They aligned with natural fault lines in the planet's crust. The ancient builders weren't randomly placing stones. They were mapping invisible forces flowing beneath their feet. Modern instruments detect subtle electromagnetic fluctuations along these ancient alignments, places where Earth's natural energies concentrate and interact. Scientists at Edinburgh University discovered that stone circles often sit directly above underground streams and geological fault zones, areas where the planet's magnetic field shows measurable anomalies. The megalithic yard might not have measured distance at all. It could have measured wavelengths, energy frequencies, patterns in Earth's electromagnetic field itself. The precise measurement of 0.829 meters creates a frequency of 413.6 Hz when converted to sound waves. That's very close to G-sharp, a harmonic tone that resonates with human brain activity. Ancient cultures worldwide recognized these invisible energy currents. Chinese feng shui mapped dragon lines flowing through the landscape. Australian Aborigines followed song lines across continents. Native Americans built sacred sites on power spots where Earth's energy peaked. Same phenomenon, different names, universal recognition of something fundamental yet hidden. The stone circles weren't just monuments. They were instruments. Massive acoustic chambers are designed to resonate at specific frequencies. When wind passed through the stones, they created standing waves. When people chanted inside the circles, the sounds amplified and focused. The precise geometry laid out using the megalithic yard potentially turned these sites into powerful harmonic generators. Modern acoustic tests at Stonehenge reveal extraordinary sound properties. Clap inside the circle, and the sound bounces off every stone before returning to the center. The effect creates a focused acoustic phenomenon that researchers compare to cathedral acoustics. But these monuments were built thousands of years before architects understood such principles. The harmonic frequencies produced by these sites affect human consciousness. Specific sound waves can induce altered states of awareness. They influence brainwave patterns. They trigger profound psychological experiences. The ancient builders seem to understand these effects and engineered their monuments to produce them deliberately. Even more intriguing, the megalithic yard connects to fundamental mathematical constants. The measurement 2.72 feet equals approximately 2.718 feet when expressed more precisely. That's Euler's number, one of the most important constants in mathematics. It appears everywhere in nature. The growth patterns of shells, the unfurling of leaves, the distribution of prime numbers, even how nerve signals travel through the human body. Finding Euler's number encoded in Stone Age monuments raises profound questions. This mathematical constant describes natural growth and decay throughout the universe. It's fundamental to physics, biology, and cosmic processes. How did prehistoric builders know this number? Why did they base their construction unit on it? The acoustic properties, electromagnetic anomalies, and mathematical relationships weren't accidents. They were design features. The megalithic builders created a technology that interfaced with both the planet and human biology, a system that uses Earth's natural energies and human physiology to produce specific effects. But this knowledge appeared suddenly in the archaeological record, then vanished just as mysteriously. No gradual development, no trial and error. An advanced understanding that emerged fully formed was used for centuries, then disappeared. The builders left no written instructions, no training manuals, no explanation of how their technology worked. The monuments still function today. They still produce acoustic effects. They still sit on electromagnetic anomalies. The technology was built to last millennia, but the knowledge behind it was lost to history. The ancient technology was real, but modern academia refuses to acknowledge its implications. Why do establishment archaeologists dismiss evidence that challenges their fundamental assumptions? Old mystery and modern cover-up. Alexander Thom spent decades documenting precise measurements and astronomical alignments at megalithic sites. His data was meticulous. His methods were scientific. His conclusions were peer-reviewed. Yet the archaeological establishment rejected his findings almost immediately. Critics claimed Thom suffered from selection bias. They argued he cherry-picked measurements that supported his theory while ignoring contradictory evidence. But modern laser surveys have confirmed many of Thom's calculations with startling accuracy. The precision he documented was real, not imagined. Archaeologist Clive Ruggles led the campaign against Thom's work. He insisted that most ancient sites don't use the megalithic yard consistently. Some measurements are close, Ruggles argued, but close isn't good enough for a universal standard. The criticism stuck. Academic journals stopped publishing research about the megalithic yard. Universities discouraged students from investigating Thom's claims, but the dismissal wasn't entirely scientific. It was ideological. Accepting Thom's evidence would require rewriting the entire narrative of human development. Stone Age people weren't supposed to possess advanced mathematical knowledge. They weren't supposed to understand astronomy. They weren't supposed to build with engineering precision that rivals modern capabilities. The evidence suggests ancient humans inherited wisdom from an earlier, more sophisticated source. The mathematics was too advanced. The engineering was too precise. The knowledge was too complete to develop independently among primitive societies. But acknowledging this possibility threatens established academic careers, institutional funding, and ideological frameworks that have dominated archaeology for decades. The easier path is dismissal, restriction, and controlled investigation that protects existing theories from uncomfortable evidence. If our ancestors lost this advanced knowledge once, what's to stop it from happening again? And if Stone Age humans didn't create this technology, then who did? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.